We are back, and after a week's break, we are refreshed and raring to go. We're going to see what the players do next, now that they are heading to Thornhold. For those watching, Thornhold is a independent area that is housed by all of the nations. So you are going to get a little bit of a taste of every country on the continent of Kovere. Players, how are we doing tonight?
Huzzah!
There we
Alive.
Doing pretty
alive
good.
Alive is good. Pretty good is better.
I crave the death of my foes.
No longer hacking my lungs out.
That's always a plus, and we're going to have to talk about that craving the death of your enemies one. Okay, so who are you shooting now?
No, I was just testing my rolls, but
Okay.
There it goes. That's damage.
There we go. I was about to
Like,
say,
how did I
are
get 25
you shooting
damage?
Gearfried already? We just started.
No. He hasn't done anything today.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Last we left off, the players had just passed by a village that was being ransacked by a combination of undead Karnathi soldiers and a vampire who would have seen them passing by and ultimately would have followed them to the campsite. In that instance, thinking and acting quickly, the vampire that was attacking them was quickly dispatched within one turn, I believe, by Levin. Not that I'm sour about that in any way, shape, or form. My poor vampire. But the players did succeed in killing the two Karnathi soldiers, undead soldiers that were also there, which is now plaguing the question. Why is Karnath attacking Thrain? Considering just 5 years earlier, the Treaty of, ironically, Thornhold was signed. That is what ended the 100-Year War. Players, you are at the campsite. You have just dispatched these individuals. Zarya, you have just woken up from your long, long sleep. What would you all like to do?
Yeah, Cyrus just kind of comes out of it. Well, she's going to stay invisible for a little while longer, so she's not there. But she's like, I'm all good.
How's Zarya doing? Zarya!
Am I even here?
Yeah, you're here. You're just on the boat.
Okay.
Which is near.
Yeah.
She's still on the boat.
So, Zarya, at this point, you would be waking up. You would be feeling refreshed.
What happened to me? Why was I asleep?
You had a busy, busy couple of days. It's fine. You're fine. Everything's fine.
Could have had something to do with that mist that I saw and everyone decided it was not enough of a big deal to do anything about.
Okay. I don't think I can do my Russian accent. I'm still kind of hoarse.
No worries.
You're good.
Wait, you could do a horse accent?
Ba-doom.
Oh my god.
Terrible joke. Boo.
Yeah.
DM, would I know if this is is this clearly a vampire or do we not know what that is?
You could investigate the body if you'd like.
Gearfried will investigate the body.
Okay,
It's a medicine check.
please and thank you.
Levin's gonna just unceremoniously pick as many crossbow bolts that are salvageable out of him.
Yep, you'd be able to recover half of them.
Okay. 18.
You would be able to see, obviously, the extended canine teeth. You would be able to see the nails are more claw-like. You see that as you're kind of pressing your fingers against, you feel that the muscles seem denser.
Gearfried will, as he's looking over the body, he's gonna mutter to himself, "All right, vampiric." And off of the top of Gearfried's head, would he know anything about the history of Karnath's use of undead, specifically whether or not they used vampires often?
Go ahead and give me a history check.
Something I'm good at.
There we
Not a
go.
20.
You can really only recall rumors of vampires. You've never seen one. The stories are more from old tales you would have heard growing up of the Vampire King and how it's possible that his generals were vampires, but the army itself is usually strictly undead. It's enough that there's no verification, so you would really only be able to recall lore.
Gearfried will, as he's looking over the body, and Fennec is picking the arrows out of him, Gearfried will, what did I say? What did I say?
Hispanic.
Said Fennec.
Oh, God damn it. I'm sorry. Levin. Gearfried will just comment and say, "Well, from what I know, if this is from Karnath, it's not typical for them to use vampires as cannon fodder unless this was supposed to be a higher ranking sort of official." I don't know. Histories are a
I
little
like
off
to
there.
imagine around this time, you all see an axe kind of floating out from back, like an axe kind of float up from the barge and start moving towards the corpse. And then when it gets there, it raises up, comes down, and chops off the head.
Of the spawn that we're looking at right now?
Yeah, of the vampire.
Oh. I'm assuming that's you, Saris.
Yes, yes it is. Just being thorough.
Well, I'm no expert when it comes to monster hunting. That was more Yami's prerogative, but I think there has to be a wait, no, that's for the proper vampires. That's a wooden stake.
I
Anyway.
feel like a lot of things suffer poorly from a headless state.
I feel that there's probably something that bypasses that probably heard you on some sort of astral level and will now come to murder us all.
We should take that thing's head as well.
Something tells me it has countermeasures.
You are very paranoid, and I don't know where you're getting it from.
A consequence of traveling with you.
That's nonsense. I'm completely trustworthy.
You
No, you're
hotwired
fucking
my vehicle not 3 days ago.
Yes, I helped it get better.
I'm not doing this with you right now. Gearfried's going to check this thing's pockets while Levin takes out the rest of the arrows.
Yeah, you're talking with an expressionless voice at the moment.
Yes. Is there anything in this guy's pockets?
You are able to find a satchel of 200 gold pieces.
Looks like he's got about 100 gold in here.
love it.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give it inspiration.
Well, someone's rolling high on a travel budget.
Yeah, wait, 100 gold. That's quite a bit of coin for.
Unless he's pillaging the villages he's going through.
Could be bribe money. Paying off people to, maybe take a vacation on a day when they should be fortifying the defenses.
Perhaps.
Could also be a
Anyhow.
quartermaster.
Possibly, but you don't need to pay the undead. They work for free. It's great. So I hear.
What about the intelligent ones?
There are intelligent ones? Well, she looks at the
Yeah,
vampire. Right.
Doesn't Karnath have commanders for these?
As far as I'm aware, at least if you believe the rumors, then yes, they are. Or if you don't believe the rumors, then yes, they are generals that should be paid. If you do believe the rumors, then they are vampires that probably have something of a blood budget, I would imagine.
I mean, they're walking with their own rations, so yeah, that makes sense.
And it's to my understanding that Karnath uses undead to fill their ranks, but it's not exclusively undead.
Well, no, but going by what we've seen here, this creature doesn't seem to have been traveling with anyone living, at least not that I can see.
He might just be conscripting as he goes.
Then he might have taken this money from someone else.
Well, we now have a little extra padding in our pockets in case, and Gurry's going to motion up to the ship, in case someone starts to develop certain issues with us. Overcharging.
What?
The cleaning fees and all that.
Cleaning fees? What are you going on about?
I think he has some misgivings with our current accommodations for transport.
It's fine. When are we taking Carpe Diem out for a spin again? Getting antsy.
Well, it would probably have to be sometime after we make landfall in wherever it is we're going. DM, where are we going again?
Thronehold.
Do we get to throw and hold? Which I'm just realizing I don't know what their policies on vehicles are. That might be something.
Nothing like
Well,
finding out
considering
firsthand.
considering we're not going to be staying, you could viably leave it on the vessel.
Well, yes, I'm strictly. I'm more so trying to answer Saris's question on when we could take it out for a spin. Potentially throne hold, but if they don't allow vehicles in their streets, then we'll just keep Carpe Diem on the vessel.
I would be surprised if they didn't. Dragon-mocked houses are everywhere. And so are their contrivances.
With that, though, we are going to just skip ahead to the next day. I believe we were on like the second to third watch. We're just going to skip to the next day, unless there's anything particularly you guys would like to do before the end of the night.
Nope.
Alrighty. Moving on to the next day, you are going to see at nearly the crack of dawn, for those of you who actually sleep, you're going to start hearing the maneuverings of the sails and things like that as the ship is getting ready, or being made ready.
Interesting.
Gearfried,
Yeah, what's going on?
was there any proof on any of the undead that they were specifically deployed from Karnath?
No. I don't believe that. What was there? Were they wearing?
There
were they
was
wearing
none.
Carnathi gear?
The soldiers,
no, there
yes.
was.
The vampire, no.
The soldiers were bearing Carnathi emblems. It's entirely possible that they were just resurrected dead Carnathi soldiers, but given Carnath's history with using soldiers of the undead variety, it wouldn't shock me.
If Karnath is leading military forces in Thrain, they're technically in breach of the treaty.
Now they would be.
Being one of the Thronehold nations, they are not allowed to initiate attacks on any other signatory nation. Against any other signatory nation.
So why would they be trying to break the or what would be worth breaking the treaty then? As far as I'm aware, they benefit from it as much as anyone else does.
Haven't been able to figure that one out yet.
Tinfoil hat theory here. Do we have tinfoil in this realm?
Yes, you would have to.
Crazy
There's
theory.
aluminium.
Crazy theory. And this is just me, offering something up. These soldiers are a dime a dozen. They fall everywhere. They get resurrected everywhere. If someone were so inclined, they could potentially try to make it seem as though Karnath is being aggressive towards its neighbors.
Would it be in... I would assume it would be in multiple parties' interests that this be properly investigated.
Well, not one.
Yeah,
of
it
these
probably
parties.
would be.
Oh, I never suggested that we be the ones to investigate it. But
Maybe we
considering we're heading to Thronehold, we may be able to petition someone to start.
True. Also,
Well,
in the morning, I have prepared the water walk spell, and I will spend 10 minutes to cast it on up to 10 creatures, which I think is the captain and our group.
okay. Very nice.
That'll
I'm
last for
assuming-
8 hours.
I'm assuming it's self-explanatory. It allows you to walk on water, right?
Correct.
Alright.
There you go.
Until long rest, or is there a duration for time?
8 hours.
8 hours.
Uh,
That's good.
I learned recently about water walk is if you cast it while you're underwater, you'll shoot up to the surface of
Yep.
the water. So
Or
instantly
if something
stop
drags
drowning.
you under the water, you will float to the top.
Mhm.
So as that's being done, you are going to hear the captain calling out. Oi, let's start going. We have to actually get there in a timely manner. They don't allow ships to make port after sunset. If it can't be helped, you have to anchor down and go in the next morning.
Righto. Let us be on our way.
Anybody who is doing anything in the morning, now is the time to do it before you board onto the ship.
I'm just double checking my prepared spells.
How about for the rest of you? Zarya, Levin, Gearfried.
I'm checking my prepared spells as well.
Alrighty.
Zarya
Levin
is-
tending to his equipment.
Zarya is good to go after her very long nap.
Yes, very long nap.
I
You sleep-
think
you-
it.
Yeah, go
Sorry.
ahead.
I think additionally at the beginning of. Well, no, she'll save it for later. I won't do that now. Yep, I'm done. Never mind.
You were going to notice that Maylee is sitting on the ship already, but she's still maintaining her meditative state.
Hmm.
Everybody give me an Arcana check.
This will end well.
Oh, it's gonna be
Oh.
great.
Levin's actually okay at these.
I did surprisingly well for what I know.
Hmm.
It's like-
Dang.
All right.
Hey,
Do
that's,
they-
for having a -1, that's good. That's okay.
No,
Pretty
it's not
solid.
bad.
That's really good.
But you aren't going to notice the rest of you. You guys are going to notice a sense of magic radiating from Medley. It's nothing that's too noticeable, which is why the DC was a bit higher for this one. But
Mhm.
it's not what you're used to from being around her, as if the change has been affecting her.
Can I just tap her on the shoulder? Like, hey.
You certainly can. And
Yeah.
you are going to notice that initially she doesn't react.
Hmm.
Uh-oh.
I will give her a little more of a force, like not like rough, but just a little more like,
You're going to
hey,
notice that
give her a little jostle.
she jumps as if you completely scared her, catching her off guard.
Oh, whoa, sorry.
I'm
Sorry. You're on the ship. You were just resting, and it didn't seem like you were waking up. So, gave you a little jostle on the shoulder. Nothing serious.
Sorry, I didn't realize it was morning already.
Yeah, no, never actually seen an elf meditate longer before. How was it?
It was interesting. It was almost like I was in a
Mhm.
void.
In a void.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she kind of just shakes her head and stands up, stretching.
All right, well. Yep, just wanted to let you know we're getting ready to set off and should be in Thronehold before dark, I guess.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Stretch the legs and maybe get a drink.
Indeed. Curious to see how effective the city watch is.
And
I
unless
hope
there's
it's on
any...
par to the quality at Sean.
Well, here's hoping, but you're a little biased, aren't you?
How so? I love law enforcement.
Well, no, I mean, you just love Sean.
I mean, yes. But everyone can aspire to be more like Sean.
I think it's pretentious.
Oh, that's only because you've been on... I mean, if you're in the upper tiers, certainly, but you get down into lower Dura, the ruggedness, the deprivation, the just muck-filled streets and the glinty-eyed stare of all the citizens warms your heart.
Nothing what you're saying sounds remotely appealing, Saris.
Yeah, no.
That's because you're all dead inside and have no passion.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're dead inside.
As this is going on, the ship is beginning, or the boat is taking off, and you are now making your way downstream once more.
When Zarya says that, she looks at him, if I were dead inside, I wouldn't have felt bad when I had to kill my friends after they betrayed me.
You're a fucked up little person, aren't you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm just like everyone else I knew in Lower Dura.
Sadly, she's
Kind of gives
not
you a
wrong.
look of like, that explains a lot.
What were you about to say, Levin?
Yeah, he was actually agreeing with Saris on this one. She's not wrong.
She's mildly disturbed at how often as she's starting to realize her and Levin seem to have, like, maybe not the same. Their wavelengths are in sync more often than she'd care to admit.
Huh.
She just looks at Levin's like, thank you. Yes.
Cyrus, you'll forgive me for being curious about a statement, though.
Hmm.
This isn't me asking you to talk about it, but do note that I am curious about when you mentioned betrayal.
Yes?
No, I'm specifically leaving it at that. You tend not to talk about yourself.
Ah, right. Well then, yes. Betrayal happens in Lower Dura.
Part and parcel.
Indeed.
That said, Cyrus,
Yes.
you're usually one who has roundabout ways of thinking of things.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Either way, what do you think would benefit? How do I put this? How do you think Karnath would benefit from this type of activity? I'm currently
Going on
not
the
seeing it.
Well, assuming there is a benefit to be had, it seems to be taking everyone by surprise. It does sow fear and terror into the populace. I know I'm certainly afraid of an army of undead marching upon me in my sleep. So there's, I suppose, a morale advantage, but it's short term because usually these sort of things lead to people wanting revenge for all their lost loved ones. And then they show up in your alleyway and they shank your best friend and you have to get them back.
Alright, let's turn the question around a little bit. Who do you think would stand to benefit most from Karnath violating this?
Everyone who wants to wipe Karnath off the map and is looking for a pretense to do so. They're not the most popular nation, given their own predilection towards recruitment.
Would you agree with me that that wouldn't necessarily involve only the signatory nations?
It could, or if you're, say, a nation like Dargoon, looking to sort of legitimize yourself, you
But
might.
Dargoon's a recognized nation, they're not a signatory, you're right.
If you're looking like Dargoon or Drome, one of those nations looking for something to sort of, it's a really long play across a wide map, but if you're looking to make everyone look towards Karnath before you move in and make a grasp for expansion, it's a good way to go about it. Also, the gnomes of Zalago could just be fucking with everyone. As a means of just, keeping everyone on their toes. If it's Zalago, I have no idea what their agenda might be.
Drome's not known for a political place like that. And that would
No.
be troubling if they were the ones leading the charge on that.
Yeah, and while Dagoon probably has a sort of a seat at the table, maybe if they want like a bigger piece or looking for some sort of distraction to close the gap between Thrain and Breland, or Thrain and Dagoon, make some sort of play for expansion. I don't know. In general, people benefit from Karnath being an aggressor as a pretense to attack Karnath and take over their territory.
This is one of the reasons why I dislike politics.
I mean, it's pretty simple. Find the weakest guy, shank him, and then you walk away. After you take the stuff.
Again, one of the reasons why I dislike politics. They tend not to be simple.
I've always liked politicians. I know where I stand with them.
I'm assuming at the handle.
I mean, usually they assume I'm gutter trash, and that's been convenient as an assumption.
Thank you for your insight. I have a few things to think about.
Indeed.
So as this is going on, it is going to take about 6 hours to get to Thornhold. Is there anybody else who would have any sorts of conversations along the way, or would we just prefer to time skip ahead?
Might as well just get to Thronehold for now.
Alright, so as you are getting into, as you see the island in view, you see the style of Breland, the structure of the buildings and things like that. You ride the coast up, and not too far away, about a mile or two away, you would be able to see the style of the structures that were actually just being burnt down as you pass by that village being ravaged. And you'd be able to recognize it as a Thrain style of architecture. You begin to pull into this area here, where you officially do make your dock, and you are free to move about Thronehold.
Oh my god. Look at that beautiful, beautiful walls. And buildings. Buildings and walls. We should go to the Brailish Quarter. Maybe I can get a decent cup of tall there.
Personally, I'm more interested in the Carnathi Quarter. If not for the food, then for the potential intrigue on what exactly might be going on.
Well, I am going to head to the Brailish Quarter, look around, get me that cup of tall, made proper, and then maybe peruse the populace and see what Brailish people in Thronehold are like.
Alrighty. What would the rest of you like to do?
I'm going to
wait,
take a proper bath. We've been on the water for too long.
Before y'all go, Gearfried's going to hand out 33 gold to Saris, 33 gold to Levin, and 33 gold to Zarya. From the vampire.
No. Not keeping a share for yourself.
No, I figure I have been spending too much. And the other 100 gold Gearfried is keeping in Carpe Diem, the emergency fund.
Saris is going to insight Gearfried, not so much to know, like, just to see, like, she's looking for some sort of tell that he kept some gold for himself and didn't mention it, which is a thing she would do.
Listen, you're suspicious.
Sarah assumes that of everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
but that's why it's almost a default insight check on everybody, but she's doing it right now actively on Gear.
there you go. Go ahead and give me those contesting checks. So deception versus insight.
18.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Details. Deception.
Cyrus just looks at him. Of course. Well, it's kind of you to take your spending into account and, just, be fair about it. I appreciate that. I trust
I
you,
know.
Jeffrey.
I'm happy to finally hear you admit that. Now, who wants me to supervise?
Supervise.
I don't
What?
know. I'm not buying anything. If anyone,
Oh,
I'm
I
just
mean, if you
saying.
want,
I
that would be
imagine
rich.
we're all going to break. I imagine we're all going to break off and do our own thing. So
Yep,
if
that's my
anyone
question.
needs an extra, if anyone needs an extra set of arms for any potential danger, and Geoffrey's gonna look back. Well, Fennec's asleep, but if anyone else plans on getting in any danger and might need the aid of someone who can, and Geoffrey's just gonna look at his gauntlets and zap them as an example.
Oh,
I'm
that
just saying
reminds
we have a reputation, we'll say.
That reminds me. Zarya, dear. I'd like to hire you to bodyguard my bodyguard. And she throws 33 gold pieces to Zarya.
Sure.
Excellent.
Okay. I was already doing that.
Yes, but I pay you on a per job basis.
So
Okay.
it's payday for you.
Sorry, has money.
Now you have 66 more gold pieces.
Saris, if I could ask for you to do something.
Okay.
You're headed over to the Brailish Quarter. Would you be able to
Yes.
find out if they've been petitioning about what's been happening with the Carnathi soldiers?
Petitioning for what exactly?
Considering it's a violation of the treaty and more than a couple of important
Oh.
people also therefore know about it.
Petitioning for war?
More specifically for recompense.
I can ask around.
DM,
Whatever information you can get.
real quick, was I'm blanking on his name. The guy with the metal leg. I'm sorry. I'm
Ram.
Ramos,
Uncle Ram Ram.
Ramos,
Ramos.
Doran.
Ram. Was Ramos in? He wasn't in Thronehold, was he?
You know he was last seen in Karnath, but you could assume he may have stopped in through Thronehold. You're not sure, but you can inquire
Okay.
about it.
They're
Right, it
good
might
odds
be-
to pass through.
It might be a good idea to try and gain information on whether or not Ramos passed through here, since he's still so rudely ignoring our messages.
I mean, I haven't sent him any messages since the last
And
one you replied to.
I was gonna say he did technically respond.
Yeah, he has. Well, I haven't sent another message since the response. Is what I'm saying.
Well, in that case, Saris, do you want to try to send him another message and let him know that we're in Thronehold?
Sure. Give me one moment. And did I prepare for level spells?
I'm gonna say if you have the
Um,
ability to ritual cast it, that's fine as well. That would only take 10 minutes.
yeah, no, sending isn't a ritual spell.
All right.
And I did not prepare it today, so she's like, yeah, no, I can't send him a message today. Maybe tomorrow morning.
Yeah, sure. How long are we planning on staying here exactly?
Looks at the captain. I assume we're departing in the morning?
Yes, that was my assumption, unless you wanted to stay longer.
No, we are on a time scale, a time crunch of sorts.
We're on a schedule.
Yes, that one. What he said.
And you are going to notice that, yeah.
I was just gonna say, imagine if we leave before you get the sending spell, and then we do the sending, and he replies, "Oh, I'm in this city."
So with
Turn around!
Turn around.
That would
Come back.
that would be frustrating. But the weird roundabout way he responded to us previously makes me think he's probably not here.
Yeah, probably. Just be funny.
It would be.
But he is a man of. He has a reputation about him.
He is full of surprises.
Well, it wouldn't be hard to find out if he's come through.
It's true. He belongs to like a group of mercenaries.
He was an administrator in Rhodes.
Oh, never
you,
mind.
you know he's also had direct audiences with the king.
Okay, so he's a known quantity at a high level.
Yeah, like with the way that he's been able to get you discounts and basically afford to cover your lightning rail travels,
He's got pull.
you could assume that he's got friends.
Fair.
Some of
Alright.
them may even be willing.
Exactly. Hey, listen, he's got a good
Friends in the
personality.
house that controls the
friendly.
trains.
Oh, he's not part of them, but he's got friends with
Okay.
them.
Yeah, the dragon marked houses are specifically separated from things like royalty.
Then honestly, they don't need it. They're basically mega corporations.
Pretty much,
Yep.
they've held their own wars,
They have
Squabbles.
their own private armies.
right?
It's not very realistic.
So
Right.
Ceres goes, all right, Mei Li, come along. Also Zoria. Actually, where you go, 11? We never ask, and you always disappear. I'm gonna get ahead of this, in case we need to find you for whatever reason.
I'm going to the public baths. We've been
Right.
at sea. We've been on the water for a little too long, and I don't enjoy the way all of us have been marinating.
Public baths in a particular district?
Well, Thrain would be the closest,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
but I would most likely make my way over to probably the Horn Insider.
Good to know. Good to know. We will keep that in mind and head over there.
Alrighty. Gearfried, how about you? Where would you go?
Well, at the Horn Insider joke, Gearfried's going to chuckle to himself and a little bit too softly say, I hardly know her. I figure I'm probably going to,
It's you.
I figure I'm probably going to, head over to, probably the Central District, see if I can't find anyone that might have seen Ramos. I mean, if I don't really have anything else I'm really planning on doing, so if I can at least gain some information, that's something.
Alrighty.
You're going to be talking to the wardens then.
Hopefully.
Well, be careful. Your
I will.
interactions with the houses have been... Well, if I take your personality into account, you really don't want to deal with House Denaeth.
Yeah. I will choose my words carefully.
I wouldn't want to have to get you out from the Marshal's grasp.
I will be on my best behavior.
Oh, I'm not expecting your best.
Now, let's just put it this way. I don't plan on getting myself arrested. Getting Fennec out of jail was already enough of an issue. Actually, let me go check on him really quick. Gearfried's going to go up to the ship and retrieve the 100 gold that he stashed away.
Alrighty. Alright, so, Zarya, I'm assuming because you're being paid to guard the bodyguard, you're also going to Breland, right? The Breelish Quarter.
Yes. Yes, going with Ceres.
And just so that I confirm, Levin, you would be going to the bathhouse, and then you said the Horn Insider, right?
Yep.
Okay.
He's keeping it very simple.
Why is it that you just checking where we're going is making me nervous?
'Cause it
Right?
should.
It's like,
Nah, just ignore the
Just too
ignore the random
paranoid.
questions. It's okay.
uh,
Have I ever given you reason to worry?
yes,
Okay. Good answer.
every DM has.
You want a list?
All right. So, let's break this up a little bit. So
Oh, we're
Gearfried,
splitting the party out now.
not too badly. Three of you are staying together. One of you will be rejoining them in like an hour or two, and then the other is going to the central district. Would you, I assume, be walking with them through the Breelish, or would you be going through like Placid Garden and Undare Quarter? Like, which route would you want to go?
I would, yeah, it's judging by these streets, it'd probably be on the way. So yeah, I'd probably walk them through the Brailish Quarter for a little bit before, separating out.
Alrighty. And Ceres, would you be leading them to the Horden Cider, or would you be trying to go to like the Emerald District? Where are you looking to go?
I think that she said BRB 5 minutes.
Okay, so we'll come back to that. For now, Levin, you would be able to find the bathhouse relatively easily as you exit the docks, and it is gonna cost you about 5 silver pieces. It's a nice bathhouse. You get to keep the towel.
Yeah, he's not one to keep stuff that he's not going to keep with him, so... Nah, he'll just burn the 5 silver. And he'll start ruminating on the stuff that Ceres brought up. Taking a moment's peace to actually be away from the group, and honestly, there's nothing that he would want to do on this island outside of getting information, but he can take his time with that. We're not going to be here long.
Yep, noted. So while you are ruminating and stewing, Gearfried, as you are with the party making their way through the Breelish Quarter, you are going to hear a rhythmic chanting. And it's, as busy as the street is, it's loud enough, but it also only sounds like it's 1 or 2 people.
Am I still with Zarya and Ceres and Melee as I'm hearing this?
I'm going to say this is just after you break apart from them.
Okay, Gearfried will kind of look towards... Is it coming from a direction?
It's coming from the west, so further down the street. It's in your direction. As you continue walking up towards it, you're going to see a Warforged with a picket sign in his hands. On the sign it reads,
Oh boy.
Equality for Warforged. As you come up,
Gearfried will...
you
Oh,
hear a
yeah.
chant. We want our rights just because we are not naturally born. And it sounds like a terrible chant. But there are 2 Warforges who would be there protesting.
Gearfried will approach. Always happy to see this kind of behavior. Gearfried will approach, and they don't allow you all. They don't allow you all to have equal pay just because you're Warforged.
No, when we get these shit jobs, you never see a Warforged as a secretary. No, they've got us doing only labor manual jobs. I've got a brain. And you hear a dink, dink, dink as he pokes at his head.
That you do. It is a damn shame that people can't see. Do you have a petition you need me to sign?
Yeah, and you're going to see that he has a petition with, again, only 2 signatures on it.
Gearfried will happily sign his name on this petition.
Oh,
course he
thank you
does.
for your support. It's really it's too bad because the protest down at Karnath has been taking all of our thunder. And you hear the Warforged who's behind him. Yeah, that's why. Not that
Wait,
nobody cares.
What's going on down in Karnath?
Oh, apparently a couple of villages and a couple of towns in Thrain have been ravaged recently, so people are protesting against it.
And it seems that Karnath is being aggressive towards their neighbors?
I don't know, I wasn't really that interested.
Huh.
Because come
Well,
wartime, us Warforgers are going to get our respect, otherwise we're going to leave everybody else to do their own thing.
well, I mean, have you considered banding together with the other Warforged and forming a strong union, if you will?
Yeah, he's been annoyingly persistent about that shit. That's why I'm here, and I'm the only one.
Gearfried's gonna kind of look back towards the direction he was walking, remembering his intended goal. As much as I would love to ingratiate myself in this, as it greatly concerns my sensibilities, I unfortunately can't do much beyond offering you the best of luck. I sincerely hope that you're able to convince the naysayers to your cause. It truly is one that needs more eyes on it. Unfortunately, I have things I have promised I need to attend to.
Well, thank you for signing the petition anyway.
Of course, friend, of course. Best of luck.
And you. And then they're going to go back to their bad chance.
At least give them a good chance.
Yeah, Gearfried's going to kind of listen to the chant for a second, and he's going to try to like quickly come up with a better, like more catchier one.
Alrighty.
And potentially give it to them.
They will be thankful if you do. And then with that, you would be able to continue on your way. Ceres, where would you be going?
Her first mission is that all-important cup of tall, made the Brailish way.
So I'm assuming the Horden Cider.
Or, honestly, she's not that picky. The first place it looks like it serves tall on the way through.
Alright.
Actually, ideally, if there's like a kiosk on the side of the street, like a street vendor.
There is not a street vendor.
She looks offended when she realizes this. Is there any street vendors? Not just for
Not-
tall, but like, is there like a fried rat meat kebabs vendor?
No street meat or anything like that, no. Like you'll see
This is awesome.
produce stand, but that's about as close as you would come.